Hi everyone and welcome to my Facebook Live. I'm Angela Palmer and I'm from Stamp with Angela. Thanks for joining me today. Appreciate you being here, whether you're watching me live, whether you're watching the recording later on Facebook, or whether you're watching the YouTube video. So appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are inspired and learn some new things as I share today's card with you. So I'm going to share a technique that involves using multiple ink colors on one stamp using Daubers. And I'm going to use the amazing Silhouette stamp set, which has been around for a little while and I haven't pulled it out recently, and I do really like it. So I thought I would pull it out and make today's card and just show you how you could use some multiple colors on one particular stamp. I'm going to use an embossing folder, which is part of the mini catalogue, and a stamp set and dies from that too. So we'll get started very soon, and if you've got any questions, please comment, and if you're watching this later, I will look at your comments and reply when I can. So thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate that, and I hope you enjoy today's cards. So this is the card that I've made. I'm not sure if you know the colours I've used here, but I have used Night and Navy in the background there, and then Fresh Freesia, which is one of the ink colours, which I really like. And so this is the Weave embossing folder that I mentioned before, and this stamp set. So the stamp set is this amazing silhouettes here. So rather than kind of stamp the trees, you've got the image around it and the colour is around it, and then the tree is the uninked part that stands out, and we've got other images with the butterfly and these leaves as well. So the embossing folder that I used is quite a detailed one, and it's the Cane Weave set. So it's a 3D embossing folder. So you do need the standard size embossing folder for that. So now the other thing with this card is, if you were watching last week, you would have seen my sketch, and you'll notice that today's layout is actually very similar to last week's sketch. So I kind of used that as inspiration and used it again. I did have to change the measurement slightly because of the stamp width, so it is a little bit wider. And that's the great thing. You can use a basic sketch and just alter it slightly if you need to. So if you didn't see last week's Facebook Live videos, you may like to check it out and see what I made with that. But it's just a starting point, and you can just adapt it like I have to fit this particular stamp. All right, so I've got my card base, and this piece is just a standard 10 centimeters by 14.3. Now, when I made this, I did feel it was a little bit bland and maybe I should add a bit of ribbon. So I'm going to try that on this one, and we're going to see how it looks. So I'm going to need to add that now, so before I adhere it. So I am going to change it up just a little bit. So I'm going to put some tape on the back, and I'm going to use the white crinkled ribbon. I'm going to sort of put it about halfway-ish, I guess, and cut it off. I won't actually put my bow on yet. We'll just kind of do it later when we can adjust it. But now that's on, I can glue it on, and then I can add to it later. But I do want it straight, not kind of wonky. So I'm using the lines in the design to kind of line it up, hopefully. All right, and now I'm going to adhere that. So if you are wanting to put twine, ribbon, something like that on, then do it before you adhere it. Okay. So now I'm going to stamp this bit here, and I'll show you how I've done that. So that's kind of the focus for today, our technique. Whoops, I'm dropping my glue on the floor, which is not a good thing. Let me pick it up. Okay, so I am going to use the Stamparatus. It is quite useful, particularly if you need to re-ink some little bit. So I've set this up in here, and I'm going to put my cardstock in. So that's kind of the center. And what I did was, actually I'll just show you with the grid paper, is I put it with that line, so that's kind of going straight through. I don't know if you can see the bottom. So I could see that my tree was straight using the line on the grid paper. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in and line it up So it's in the middle of that line. Now I have to be careful where I put my magnets because the stamp does cover most of it, as you can see. So I'm just, even that's a little bit too close, so I'll just have to move them down a little bit. But I do want to hold it in place so that, and a little bit more if I need to re-ink. Okay, so okay, now I can stamp it. Brilliant. Okay, so I'll move it down so you can see what I did with my inking. So you'll see my card has got some yellow at the top, so that's Daffodil Delight. Then the fresh Freesia, which I've used, some Orchid Oasis, and then some Soft Succulent. So I'm using Daubers. So these are what the Daubers look like. So when you first get them, they're like this. Then they'll get some colour on them. You can kind of wash them, obviously let them dry, or I tend to use, you know, a particular colour for one. So I'm just going to dab it on there and dab it over like so. The yellow is quite bright, so I don't want too much of it. Then I'm going to use my fresh Freesia and get that dauber and dauber over the top. Remembering the middle part as well. And remember, I can come back with more ink if need be, or if I missed a bit. Next coloured is Orchid Oasis. So the dauber for that one. Got one dauber for each colour. So that's a slightly darker purple. Can you still see what I'm doing? Tap, 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 tap. I'm going to kind of go down and then we'll just do the green at the bottom. So I'll go quite a bit away. And then the last colour, can you guess? Soft Succulent. All right, so I'm going to do that bit at the bottom with the Soft Succulent. Okay, then I'm going to flip it over. I'll just move it up. Whoops. And press down. Oops, shaking the table. Okay. So if you see, there's a little bit missing there and a little bit there. So I have a feeling I didn't quite push at the top. So we'll just push that one down for the top. But there's still a little bit of a gap there. So let's say we'll go back with the fresh Freesia and we'll just add a bit more colour there. So it's kind of around here. So that's why, you probably can't see what I'm doing, sorry. You can just go back and touch it up because it's in the Stamparatus. Sorry, tap, tap, tap. I don't know if I've quite gone high enough, but let's have a look. There we go. So how's that? That's pretty cool, eh? Multiple colours, and you can use, you know, whatever you like, and I'll show you a completely different colour version after as well. And then I would get a chamois and wipe that off, get all the colour off, let it dry, and then have another go in case I put the colours, you know, in a slightly different order. And then we'll put that together on our card. All right, so yeah, we've just got that on a slightly wider piece, and from memory I think it was 5.5. Yes, this was 5.5 by 11.5, so then that was 6 by 12. So just a slight variation on what I use for my sketch, just to make it fit the image that I wanted. So you can do that, you can make it a little bit narrower, longer, whatever. Okay, excellent. All right, so I don't know if you can tell, I've put that on with dimensionals, and then we've also got the happy birthday. So let's get that ready and then we can put those things on together. So the set I've used for my happy birthday, it's from the mini catalogue, and it's got these dies that go with it, and the actual stamp set is something fancy. So this one is all sentiments and things. So it's got a long happy birthday, congratulations, and then a die for cutting it out. So I'm going to use my little, oh, let's stamp it first, then I'll cut. So we will get a scrap piece of white, and I'm going to use the Night of Navy ink and the happy birthday stamp. stamp it like so. Now I am using a little bit of, what do you call it, repositioning tape just to hold it in place. So I'm using here, this is the mini stamping cut and emboss machine. So it's, you can get it in the catalogue in white, and this colour is a special edition boho blue one that has come out for celebration. So it's not available for purchase. Well, it was for demonstrators in our pre-order the month before celebration, and now it's available to anyone who signs up and chooses to the option that has a cutting and emboss machine. You can get it in white, or you could get this blue option. So I've put a bit of tape there to hold it into place, and I'm going to just stagger my plates and put it in and wind it through. So this is great for smaller dies. Obviously the embossing folder is too wide to go through this, but it is fine for smaller dies or things. So this is the embossing folder. So you can see a standard embossing folder is too wide. So this is the that pattern that we use, the cane weave pattern. All right, and then I need to cut another one for just a bit of background effect. So let's just put this through. Is this piece going to be long enough? Or maybe if I angle it, be as conservative as I can here. So use up all our scraps, put it in, just stagger the plate slightly so you've not got all three layers going in together. And then, sorry, not staggering it too well here, then it goes through much better. Oops, I need to kind of straighten it up. All right, hang on to it there. It's better directly on the tabletop rather than on something like this piece of card base here that will slide around. Okay, so now I've got my two, this one and this one. So I'm just going to adhere them together first before I put them on the card. So I'm going to put some glue on and just overlap them. So you could use, you could cut it out, use a punch, whatever you like. I've got an oval punch that kind of, what's the word? Got the framing behind it, but this is lots of squares and things, so I wanted to go with that theme. So we're sort of going to go like that. So let's get our dimensionals and put those on the back. So I'm going to put one in all four corners. It's not quite the corner, but there you go. And one in the middle. Remove my backing and put that on. Like so. Now when I put this on, it's going to be raised up already on there. So I just need a dimensional on that side and a bit of glue under the happy. So we'll just do that like so. And try and get it nice and level. Okay, so that's the card. So now I'm going to add my bow. Now I've got things kind of placed where I want. So what I'm just going to do is tuck a piece of the crinkled ribbon underneath. And hopefully I've made it, maybe I needed slightly longer. I know we might be all right, we'll see. Tie a bow. Could be a little bit fiddly, we'll try. Oh yeah. Cute little bow. Just adjust it slightly. So there we are. And then I don't know if you can see I've added a bit of sparkle as well. I love these iridescent rhinestones because they sort of pick up the colour that's around. And in this case the pinks and things. So there we go. All right, so here are the two cards. What do you think? Do you like it without the ribbon? Or do you like the ribbon added? So that kind of gives a little bit, adds to it as well. I'll show you a completely different colour combination with the same card. So this one is in brown, so it could be a more masculine kind of card. And I added twine on it. And I did feel it was quite white. And I wasn't sure if I liked that. So I've sponged it in the Soft Succulent, and then I've gone with the crumb cake, which is the same as the background. So then I did another one, and this time I used the Very Vanilla. So that I feel that blends quite nicely with the brown. So can you see the two there? Do you like it with the Very Vanilla, or do you like it with the white cardstock in the background? So again, you know, you can try these things and vary them up. But yeah, they can be quite different. So let me just show you these two cards. So we've got the same stamp set, the same design, but very different colors. Gives you quite, you know, a different looking card to suit, you know, a different person and things. So I hope you found that interesting and inspiring. So the stamp set I used was the Amazing Silhouettes, which is found in the annual catalogue. So thank you for watching these cards, and I hope it has given you some ideas. Before you go, I will just mention about Celebration. So we've got a couple of weeks left. It goes to the end of February, so 2 to 3 weeks left. The free items that you can only exclusively get for Celebration, the papers and stamp sets and things, are still available. And then from February, some new products have been added that you can choose as on they're on offer to redeem with your Celebration orders. So if you spend $110 or more, you can get the other items, or you can get these. Now these are items that are actually already in a catalogue. They're in the mini catalogue or the annual catalogue. We've got a couple of kits here, card kits, treat box kits, some ribbon, a couple of punches, a cloud embossing folder, the hive embossing folder, some masks. So they're all free with a $110 order, or a stamp and die set, which is an amazing offer if you spend $220. So you can still get the ones originally on offer, or you could choose from these two. So that is a great deal. And of course, if you've ever wondered about being a demonstrator, yeah, it's great to do that. You can also choose the option with the machine, or if you don't want the machine, you can just get the standard signing up offer, which is $189, and you get more than normal. Instead of $285, you get $375 worth of products and things. So obviously it's a great deal, but it's not just the discount and things. It's the people you meet, the opportunities you get. You don't have to do it like me with lots of classes and Facebook Live. You can just do it yourself or get together with friends. If you want to do a class, you can. It's totally up to you. You can make it work for you. So if you've got any questions about Celebration or anything like that, please let me know. So as I said, Celebration is just around till the end of the month. And if you've seen one of these, the options at the back regarding the join up offer is there too. So thank you for your time today. I hope you like today's card and the other ideas to inspire you. If you're watching this on YouTube and you liked it, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to sharing with you again. And yeah, if you've got any questions, do let me know. Lastly, I do send out a newsletter to people who are on my mailing list. So if you don't receive that, it has information about what's on offer, but also exclusive tutorials and tips and things that are only in my newsletter, not elsewhere. So you can sign up to that. If you go to stampwithangela/free, then you'll get a free tutorial as you sign up as well. All right, so thank you for your time today. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Happy stamping, enjoy your paper crafting, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, bye.